This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I'm meant to be. This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I'm meant to be. Letting it in, letting it flow, letting it go where it will go, letting the power of your presence show the way. Letting it in, letting you know, I'm letting you lead, that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. This soul is a witness to my holy purpose, to all that I'm born to be. This soul is a witness to my holy purpose, to all that I'm born to be. Letting it in, letting it flow, letting it go where it will go, letting the power of your presence show the way. Letting it in, letting you know, letting you lead, that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. This life is a witness to my rightful purpose, to all that I've come to be. This life is a witness to my rightful purpose, to all that I've come to be. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. For all my life.
All that I have is blessed. All that I give is blessed. All that I am is blessed, blessed. All that I have is enough. All that I I give is enough. All that I am is enough. Blessed, thankful, so thankful, thankful, I am thankful. All that I have is blessed. All that I give is blessed. All that I am is blessed, blessed. All that I have is enough. All that I give is enough. All that I am is enough. Blessed, thankful, so thankful, thankful, I am thankful.
I just want to invite you all right where you are. Shout out your blessings. Shout out what you're thankful for. We are so blessed. We are so grateful.
Thankful, so thankful, thankful, I am thankful. All that I have is blessed. All that I have is blessed. All that I give is blessed. All that I am is blessed, blessed. All that I have is enough, and all that I am is enough. All that I have is enough. All that I give is enough. All that I am is enough. Blessed, I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed.
This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I'm meant to be. This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I'm meant to be. Letting it in, letting it flow, letting it go where it will go, letting the power of your presence show the way. Letting it in, letting you know, I'm letting you lead, that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. This soul is a witness to my holy purpose, to all that I'm born to be. This soul is a witness to my holy purpose, to all that I'm born to be. Letting it in, letting it flow, letting it go where it will go, letting the power of your presence show the way. Letting it in, letting you know, letting you lead, that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. This life is a witness to my rightful purpose, to all that I've come to be. This life is a witness to my rightful purpose, to all that I've come to be. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear.
Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Bellevue. We welcome you in the warm and loving oneness and community that's Unity of Bellevue. Here at this center, our mission is to awaken people to their spiritual nature and to transform the world. We affirm that every one of us has within our being a spark of the divine that connects us all to Source and all to each other. In that knowing, we honor the many names of God, the many and diverse paths to God, and the many ways to worship God. Whether I'm looking at your beautiful faces here in the sanctuary, or you're visiting with us from online, and wherever you are in life's journey, know that we're delighted to have you. We're blessed by your presence, and we celebrate our inherent oneness. My name is Ken McClellan. It's my privilege to get things started this morning. Also joining me in this morning's service will be Cindy Brightbill, will be handling part of the service. Our board, or our meditation was led this morning by Lori Coleman. Lori will also be our prayer chaplain this morning. Our board host this morning is Jean Palmatier, our president of our board, and she will also be serving as our offering steward. I'm extremely pleased to welcome back our guest speaker this morning, Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson. Mary Ellen is a longtime friend of Unity of Bellevue. I say long time, knowing that she's been associated with Unity of Bellevue for over 30 years, going back to the Linda Spencer era. That's longer, I think, longer than any of us, except maybe Vic. In the 1990s, she was part of the lay minister program here and was a principal driver behind the design and implementation of our labyrinth, which until recently was part of the Unity of Bellevue grounds over on our west of the parking lot. And in 2008, at the urging of our then minister John McLean, she actually began her journey towards ordination. So we welcome back Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson. I'm also happy to welcome back as our virtual guest musician, the multi-talented Mark Stanton Welch. Over the last couple of years, Mark has been blessed us many times with his music, and it's always great to have him. So wherever you are this morning, know that you're in the right place, right here, right now. And with that, let's get the celebration started this morning with Mark leading us in our opening song.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Up. The right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Yes, I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Morning, everyone. Don't know if I'm on. Not yet. Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay. Hello, my name is Cindy Brightbill, and I'm so grateful today to do the invocation with all of you. So let us just get comfortable in our chairs and putting our feet on the ground and closing your eyes if you choose. And just knowing that we are in the right place at the right time. As we call forth that knowing, we know that we are the place where God is expressing through each one of us right here, right now, in this very room. Unity of Bellevue is this place where God is, God the divine presence, God the good, the peace, the light. We call forth that peace and light that is within each one of us all the time, everywhere, ever present, ever knowing, ever supporting. And as we begin this service, we know that the good that has already been created within the mind of God is growing and expressing through each one of us, through Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson with her message, with the energy and the ease of joy and peace. we open this service knowing that all is well, all is good, God is great, and so it is. Amen.
So there I was in 1987, in the first phase of my what we call inner child work way back then. And the way I dealt with a lot of the things that were happening with me was to put it into music. So here's a tune from then called As a Child. Life is good as a child. Celebrate the day that's just begun. Running free, running wild. All is sweet as a child. Time stands still as a child. Anywhere is just a breath away. Look, that butterfly just smiled. A day's a year as a child. As a child, I was so bold. As a child, I never thought of growing old. I lived to learn mysteries. I could talk to the trees, endless wonder as a child. Uncomplicated is a child, so unconcerned about the day to day. And every step is so worthwhile. Those simple days as a child. And I'm trying to live life as a child. I'm rolling with these tides that want to carry me away. Still making progress all the while. I'm going back to find the child. 'Cause as a child, I was so bold. And as a child, I never thought of growing old. I lived to learn mystery. I could talk to the trees, endless wonder as a child. I'm going back to find the child.
Our reading this morning, selected by Dr. Mary Ellen, is a selected piece, thought-provoking piece by author and international authority on embodiment practices, Philip Shepard. Unlike us, the present is always at peace. Unlike us, it doesn't resist change. As the philosopher Heraclitus noted, the present rests by allowing itself to change, and changes by allowing itself to rest. Always at peace, it never holds still. Peace is unfathomable, and its changes are too fluid to notate. But the present is also wild, untamable, and unpredictable. So the nature of the present is that of a wild peace. That's one reason we turn to natural elements to feel present. because nature itself has the same, at the same time, utterly at peace and utterly wild. For our affirmation this morning, as is our custom, I will read it through one time, and then I'll ask you to stand and repeat it with me, and do so with conviction. If you're with us online, I'm going to also challenge you to read it out loud. We all know there's great power in the spoken word, so I will read it through once and then invite you to join me. We are a blessed community who are passionate about awakening people and transforming the world. We radiate and express loving kindness, acceptance, and compassion. This is the impact of the Christ consciousness. We belong to each other. We are a blessing to the world, and so it is. Together now, standing, and with conviction, we are a beloved community who are passionate about awakening people and transforming the world. We radiate the expression of kindness and accept and compassion. This is the impact of the Christ consciousness. Belong. And so it is. Okay, Mark?
So, way back in May of 2020, you remember those days. This is when I first got made it home from a tour in Arizona, just got across the border of California before I was told to stay home. And in that process, in those early days of staying in place, I got the hit to write a bunch of tunes about my experience while staying in place. And I began to see very quickly that the inner world was what was calling. And so one of the songs that I put together was about a mirror I have in the house. You know how sometimes you have something there and you never notice it? Kind of just get so used to it you don't even look at it. This mirror had some information for me. In my house there's a mirror quietly hanging on the wall. I can't recall when I used it last, don't even notice it much at all. Yesterday I walked by the mirror. I thought I heard the mirror call. I turned to see somebody looking at me. He didn't look like me much at all. Seems like I left him behind me. Just made my way down some road. This staying in place has got me noticing things I misplaced a long time ago. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Today I stood at the mirror. I tried to look in his eyes. I kept blinking and turning away, but one time I thought I saw a light. The more I looked in that mirror, the brighter that light did glow. Felt like I was witnessing rebirth of someone I loved but forgot I know. A mirror, mirror on the wall. When did I learn all this judgment? When did I shoulder this blame? How could I turn my back and make all these stories about worthlessness, guilt, and shame? A mirror, mirror on the wall. The more I look at this beautiful man, the more my heart opens wide. I feel the rust of the old ways leading me to somebody inside. A little boy is there working hard to keep those crumbling walls in place. He looks at me through the eyes of the mirror, and a tear runs down our face. A precious child reunion. Oh, the man and the boy come home. We thank the virus for this redirection. It only happened 'cause I had to be alone. Oh, and mirror, mirror on the wall, holder of the mystery for us all. Look into your eyes, yes, every day. Reconnect hearts in your very own way. And love will unify what's true and bring you right back to you. And all that's true. The more I looked at this beautiful man, the more my heart it opened wide. I feel the rust of the old ways leading me to somebody inside. That little boy is there working hard to keep the crumbling walls in place. He looks at me through the eyes of the mirror, and a tear runs down our face. A precious child reunion. Yes, the man and the boy come home.
Good morning. Good morning to my community. You know, it's a humble honor for me to be asked to speak because, as most of you know, it was 32 years ago when I walked through those doors and my life was upside down. And through these teachings, over these 32 years has been just such a marvelous journey. And so for me to stand up here and have you refer to me as Dr. Mary Ellen, you know, I've been Dr. Mary Ellen for 4.5 years, and every time still when I hear people refer to me that way, I feel like I ought to be taller or something. So yes, so good morning. So, you know, when you're the guest speaker, you get to choose your topic. And the little question of, are we children of God or adults of God, came to me in one of my readings a couple of months ago. And I just really started thinking about that, about what does spiritual maturity really mean? And so I used that then to put together my talk for you today. And so when I started out putting this together, the first place I went was the New Testament. It's like, oh boy, she's going to quote the Bible. Here we go. Quoting from Paul's letter to the church in Corinth. And this was the sentence that he said after he told them what love was and wasn't. He said, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned as a child. But when I became an adult, I put an end to childish ways. So, and then I went to Michael Beckwith, who's one of our great New Thought teachers, and he talked about the progression of spiritual growth as beginning out as understanding that life happens to us. And then we learn that life happens by us, and then through us, and then life happens as us. Or he then does it into 4 stages of the victim, that things are happening to me, and then the manifester, that things are happening by me, and then the channeler, that things are happening through me, and then being and consciousness, that life is happening as me. And then I came across a beautiful little story written by a woman named Portia Nelson. And you'll want to Google this when you get home. Chapter 1 of my life. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It isn't my fault, and it takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it, and I fall in again. I'm in the same place, but it isn't my fault, and it still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3, I walk down the same street, and there's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it there, but I still fall in because it's a habit. But my eyes are open, I know where I am, I know it's my fault, and I get out immediately. Chapter 4, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk, and I walk around it. But wait, there's more. Chapter 5, I walk down a different street. So let's go through those one at a time, okay? So I walk down the street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, and I fall in. I am lost, I am helpless, it isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. That's thinking like a child, that's acting like a child, that's certainly acting like a victim. We can start out before our awakening as unconscious victims of external factors. Our emotions tend to be out of control. We can easily be triggered by traumatic memories. We're into race consciousness and drama. We carry grievances and grudges. It's not my fault, it's not my fault. We're needy for attention and assistance in everything. Quite often, at that place, we're driven by fear, and we're fear of punishment, fear of negative consequences. We may claim we have faith at that point, but our prayers are supplications, and sometimes it's just darn right begging for a crop failure after we've sown our wild oats, right? Chapter 2, we're still a victim and we're still reasoning like a child because we walk down the same street. There's that deep hole in the sidewalk. We pretend we don't see it, and we fall in again. And we're incredulous that we're in the same place. And we'll still tell you it's not our fault, and it still takes a long time to get out. We can start asking, why does this keep happening to me? There's a lot of negative self-talk that happens in this stage. And we're really not connecting the dots between our thoughts and our actions and our results. Really, we're in a space where we're disempowered. We think we're unempowered. But maybe we start to wake up, okay? So now we walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it, but I still fall in because it's a habit. But my eyes are open, I know where I am, it is my fault, and I get out immediately. So this is where a lot of us really start waking up. Life is still maybe a little bit of a bumpy road, but we're getting the idea that maybe I've got some power here, and maybe there's some tools I can use, and maybe these things that I've been reading and hearing about in church, and that some of my friends, my new friends, are talking about, that I'm responsible for what happens in my life, right? And there's a whole lot of people who will tell you, and I know this in my own bones, that life doesn't get on the right track until we are willing to take 100% responsibility for how our lives are. 100%. Nothing is anybody's fault, all right? None of us get all 52 cards in our deck, but by golly, you know, I know, we know that we're responsible for playing the hand that we have. So, knowing that we're accountable for our thoughts, our actions, and how things show up in our lives, I want to give you a little way of remembering that. As far as being accountable, just think of your name with CPA after it, okay? Like an accountant. And those letters stand for create, promote, and allow. All right, and if you don't get anything else I say today, I want you to take this home. That when I think about my life, if I take a snapshot of how my life is today, I can look at everything and say, I either created that, or I'm promoting that, or if it's something I'm really not happy about, I'm at least allowing it, right? This is a really powerful tool that I used for saying, okay, Mary Ellen, take your life in your hands because this is what God gave you. Let's take responsibility. Let's be accountable. Let's be really careful about what I create, what I promote, and what I allow. And part of that, I think, is being really mindful about what we feed our minds, right? Be really careful about what goes in here. Make sure that you're not wallowing in a whole lot of negativity. But I have to watch myself because I'm kind of a news junkie, but I have to turn it off after a while, right? I really do. And you have to really think about, okay, am I reading uplifting things? Am I really spending time every day being quiet, and thinking positive thoughts, reading positive things, having positive, upbeat friends who lift you up and not tear you down? Because what you put in your mind, your thoughts, pretty quickly go into your subconscious and pretty quickly become the creative agents in your life. So be careful what you feed your mind. I think the dark side of that, though, I want to talk about that for a minute, because there's dangers to that. Because once we're in that manifesting stage in life, it's kind of easy to start feeling a little superior, like we've got it together. Make sure you don't go there, because that's another hole you could fall in. All right? Don't feel superior to others. Don't claim you're enlightened. Spiritual narcissism, where you think you have it all together, yeah, that's another hole to fall in. We don't want to do that. Remember that we need attention and commitment and connection for skillful manifestation. Now, part of that manifesting, like I said, you can get really giddy and kind of thinking you're superior. Now, any of you, some of my friends have come today, and any of you who've been in a car with me when we've gone somewhere, what do I automatically say when we're looking for a parking space? I summon the parking goddess, and she and I are tight. And I can always find a parking space, even in a really crowded parking lot. Yeah, I got that manifesting thing down. But, I don't claim that that's any special power. But the parking goddess, she's pretty good. She'll help you. Okay, so chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk, and I walk around it. Yeah, we start living in the place where we know that if we change our thoughts, we change our lives. We finally get it, and we live that way. We've released our limiting beliefs, and we live in thoughts of possibility and wisdom and love. So that shift in thinking really does lift us out of that hole and lifts us into a higher consciousness where we see that we don't have to fall in the traps that we used to fall into. Spiritual adults focus on progress and positives and persistence. As a channel for spirit in the world, we learn to live a life of surrender to the universe. Scott Peck, in his seminal book, A Road Less Traveled, that book came out in the 70s, and it's still so fresh today. And the first line of the first chapter of his book is, life is difficult. 3 words, period, full stop. Life is difficult. And then he goes on to say, once you accept that life is difficult, and then you open yourself to grace, to the Spirit, then life is no longer difficult. It's really that simple, right? So once we're spiritually mature adults and we know that it's grace that carries us, then life is no longer a white knuckle affair, right? So we are channels of spirit in our lives. But opening yourselves to that grace, really, that's where the matter of choice is. But once we do it and we know that God expresses through us, sometimes we just have to ask ourselves, how good can I stand it? Because life can be pretty marvelous at that point. But still, there's a little more growth we can do. And that's chapter 5, that we walk down a different street. This is that complete shift in consciousness where we begin to viscerally know that we live and we move and we have our being in spirit. We begin to embody the truth that there is one life and that life is good and that life is God's life and that life is also our life now. We begin to bring positive energy to every interaction. We're aware of our impact on other people. And we start to live in our birthright of radiant well-being. We become active co-creators in life without a sense of ego involved. And we expand our comfort zone. We stop taking things personally. We allow others their path and their challenges, but we're stewards. We become true stewards, and we're capable of compassion and authenticity and generosity. We truly know, another thing that Scott Peck said, that to extend ourselves for the benefit of others, that's what love is. To extend myself for the benefit of another is what love is. It's not something we feel, it's something we do, and it's something we embody. So that level of spiritual maturity beckons. And some of us live there sometimes. I live there sometimes. Do I live there all the time? No. But I aspire to it because I know how wonderful life is when I live there. So how do we become adults of God? What are the tools and what are the practices that assist us? I think the important thing to remember, and David Brooks wrote something about this a couple of months ago, about how we build ourselves, our personalities, our values, and how we express ourselves. We borrow from other people. We learn from other people. We take a little from here and a little from there, and we coalesce it into our individuality. And we all do that. And so knowing that each one of us is pretty much a composite of the people we spend time with, right? So here's some tools. Spiritual community is the biggie, and that was just our affirmation. When you walk through those doors, no one will ever tear you down. no one will ever make you feel worse for coming here than you felt when you walked in, right? Everybody here builds you up. And here in the church, you can always find a role model, someone that you meet, someone that you observe and you say, I want what they have. I want to know what they know. I aspire to something higher because I see somebody else embodying it. That is one of the most powerful things about spiritual community. The second is meditation. Oh gosh, everybody tells you all the time you should meditate. And some of us do it, and some of us don't. But I'll tell you this, that you'll never really have a good, grounded sense of who you are and who you want to show up as until you spend quality, quiet time. Because this is where you think about your life, you end up doing your self-forgiveness work, you end up really learning how to open your heart. So even if you're breathing for 15 seconds at the red light, use that time to breathe and to open your heart and to become grounded in who you are. The third tool for spiritual growth is our friendships. I would be completely lost without my friends. And it's really important to have friends who, again, are there for you and support you. It's really good to have friends who are different from you, right? To help you keep your mind and your heart open. But the people in your life, your family, your friends, even your colleagues at work, there are people around you that, again, you learn from and they build you up. And they expect the best from you, and so you show up as your best to them. The fourth is books. Most of us in this movement are voracious readers. That's why there's a bookstore in every Unity church, right? And the beautiful thing about the written and printed word is that we can read anything that has been written from the beginning of human time. So you can learn from one of my favorites, Marcus Aurelius, who was a Greek philosopher in the 2nd century. You can read him all the way up to you can read the New York Times bestselling author Brené Brown and everyone in between. So there's a whole lot of knowledge that's embodied in books, and I hope that you've got 2 or 3 on your nightstand that you're working through. Another support for your spiritual growth is teachers. You know, the beautiful thing about the internet, and we really learned this during the pandemic, you can learn anything on any subject from anybody at any time in the privacy of your own home. So if that's the way you learn is by listening to somebody speak, avail yourself of that. There's so much there, it would take 100 lifetimes to go through things that would interest you. Another real source of support for your spiritual maturity is cultural experiences. To understand your place in humanity, right? So museums and music and theater and travel, all of those things open your mind to help you see just what our human story really is and to open your heart to your human family. And then this one is probably a point of personal privilege, but for the last several decades, a big part of my spiritual practice has been pilgrimage, to actually travel to a sacred place. And if you do it on foot, that's even better, because what you really learn is how much you can sweat and how tired you can be and how you can push. And at the end of the day, you're that much closer. And when you arrive at your destination, whether it's Assisi or Sharjah or Santiago de Compostela, you know that in that traveling there, you were part of a historical movement of millions of people who did it before you and the people who are doing it with you in real time, and knowing that there will be millions who come after you. Truly, you are in the midst of the hum of humanity. And I have found a real sense of belonging and a real sense of spiritual groundedness by doing this. So those are some ideas for you, all right? So just to kind of pull it all together, spiritual maturity is not a static destination that you arrive at. It's not a golden age where life is viewed and you're perpetually calm and wise and all of that. But maturity asks us to risk ourselves for the bigger picture. It asks us to see the larger horizon. It asks us to embody and live as spiritual beings in the world. Jack Kornfield, who wrote A Path with Heart, says, as one matures in spiritual life, one becomes more comfortable with paradox, more appreciative of life's ambiguities, its many levels, and its inherent conflicts. One develops a sense of irony, metaphor, and humor, and a capacity to embrace the whole with its beauty and outrageousness in the graciousness of the heart. The journey of spiritual maturity requires personal initiative and commitment. We approach this work with courage and with love. Yeah, spiritual maturity takes work, but the receiving of grace makes it easy. And it enables us to continually return to that place of trust and surrender. And in that way, we truly become, in the beginner's mind, truly children of God all over again. It brings it back full circle. So as we build a mature expression of who we came here to be, we live in a spirit of forgiveness, of radiant well-being, of grace, and of love. Maturity means being kind and compassionate, loving, curious, with appreciation and radical welcoming of others. We are fearless, we are helpful, we are engaged. Spiritual adults promote values of liberty, equity, inclusion, and justice in the world. We extend ourselves to create a loving environment wherever we are. And we do that in the service of creating a world that works for everyone. So let's anchor this in a moment of meditation, all right? So let your chair do its job. If you've got anything in your hand, set it aside for a moment. And together, let's breathe the one breath. And acknowledge that we live the one life. And that we live and we move and we have our being in the life of God. And let's listen again to the words of Paul as he tells the church in Corinth about love. Love is patient, and love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects. It always trusts. And it always hopes. And it always perseveres. Love is calm. Love is committed to the long term. Love is humble and joyful. It lives with optimism and perseverance, with faith and trust in others, with forgiveness for all. Truly, truly, as spiritual adults, we live to create a world that works for everyone. And so it is, and so it shall ever be.
So in those early days of writing music about my personal experience, I solicited titles from people that I knew. And one of them was kind of intriguing. It said, How to Care for a Child. So I thought, based on my experience with the mirror, that I seemed to be going back to a place of reconnecting with a part of me. So I kind of needed to remember what's involved in that. So here's a song about that. It's not about should, not about don't, not about can't, it's not about won't, it's not about rules, it's not about force, not about labels, take another course. All about love. It's all about love, love, love. It's all about love. That's how you care for a child. It's not about good enough, not about shame, not about better than anyone else. That's a cruel game. It's not about punishment. It's not about abuse. Not about my way. That's just an excuse. It's all about love. It's all about love, love, love. It's all about love. That's how you care for a child. It's all about hugs. It's all about laughs. It's all about listening. Well, imagine that. It's all about attention. It's all about share. It's all about nature time and heartfelt care. Yes, it's all about love. It's all about love, love, love. It's all about giving it out and letting it in. It's all about love, open-hearted love, love, love. Now that's the only way you care for the child. It's all about feelings. It's all about trust. All about telling it like it is. And I say this because this is all about you. How you treat yourself. How you love you is the way you love anyone else. Yes, it's all about love. Reaching out from love, love, love. It's all about giving it out. Yes, and letting it in. Yes, it's all about love. Open-hearted love, love, love. Now that's the only way to care for a child. It's all about feelings. All about trust, all about telling it like it is. And I say this because this is all about you. and how you treat yourself. How you love you is the way you love anyone else.
Hello, Unity of Bellevue. My name is Jean Palmatier. I'm your board host for today, and I happen to be the president of the board. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody in the sanctuary here and those of you online. This particular service really kind of got me a little bit emotional. So I want to thank Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson for the gift of reflection today. The chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was given to me as a wallet card in the late 80s, and it was called Stages of Recovery. And today, I would call that Stages of Remembering Who I Am. So I have transitioned into the unity thought. And here, we believe that the world is good. It's not against us, it's for us. We are prosperous, our center is abundant. We are here as a community to help and support each other. And my role today in this service is to welcome visitors online. If you're here for the first time, we welcome you. You can go to I'm New on the website, and there's things for you to connect with us in all of our activities here in the sanctuary. We have some packets outside that you can pick up. I also would like to talk about this principle of abundance. So we are a thriving, abundant community, and we have gifts that we do share. So if you have gifts today you'd like to share above and beyond in your discretionary income, we have a basket right back there. And online we have a tab that says giving. So lots of ways to give to us. You can give through the numbers on the screen. You can give through check or any of those other things. So, but really, if you're new, we don't really expect that. If you want to share with us, that's great. But we're just really glad you're here. Please connect with us on the activities that we have. However you do give, bless your offering and expand it. As Mary Ellen said, the open heart, and as Mark said, it just starts with love. So with that, I'd like to read our offering blessing. If you'll join me, I'd really appreciate it here in the sanctuary. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
Hello again, everyone. Just again want to say thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you, Dr. Mary Ellen, so much. Let's just take a moment to bless our offering. So again, just invite you to close your eyes if you choose so. Let's just take that offering in our heart and our hands and know that truly each one of us is an offering and a blessing to this world. And by being here and sharing ourselves, we are offering who we are and what we are, expanding our goodness and our light. And as we give our gifts to this church, our gifts go out into the community, let us know that these gifts are carrying that good and that light and that peace of God all throughout this community, all throughout Unity of Bellevue. What a blessing, what a gift. We give thanks for all that has transpired within this service, knowing that it is all an offering of growth, wisdom, greater and greater good, expansion, love, light. And so we bless all that is given and all that will come after this service, and we give thanks for it. And so it is.
As you've probably noticed, Monica is taking a well-deserved day off today, so you get me back for the announcements. In addition to what Jean shared about our visitors, I would also encourage you, if you're visiting, the best way to stay in touch with what's going on, and there's a lot of stuff going on around here, is to sign up for our newsletter. If you go to our website, at the bottom of every page, there's a place where you can sign up for our weekly email telling you what all's going on. Our prayer chaplains are here to pray with you today. If you have a prayer request, you can fill out a prayer request card from the seat back and place it in the prayer box near the south entrance to the church. When you see a prayer chaplain wearing a stole, which would be this morning, I think that's Cindy and Lori Coleman. You can see them standing up. They're welcome to come and ask them for one-on-one prayer. There will also be a group prayer circle led by Lori Coleman in the library following the service, and that is hybrid. If you're online, there's a Zoom link on our web page, on the home page, to allow you to join. If you didn't make it to our community visiting session last Sunday, you can still participate. If you go to the transition page on our website under the About Us tab, you'll find all the details, be able to watch a video, and send in your answers to Monica. We're taking another hike. Next Sunday, it'll be after service. The hike will be led by Brian Brewer. I don't see Brian here today. It'll be, Brian will pick something. I was able to join them a couple of weeks ago on a hike. Took us on a really beautiful hike to a great lookout. This will be appropriately chosen to fit those who are participating. I encourage you to bring a lunch because it'll be after church. Get a light snack after church. We'll be carpooling from here at the church. We'll ask that people wear masks while carpooling. Just RSVP to Monica if this is something that you would be interested in doing. Our spirit groups are coming back this fall. If you're interested in hosting a spirit group, please see Linda Neidig. All the training is provided. On a personal note, Patty and I have hosted several of these over the years. It's a really fun thing to do. It's really easy to do. And frankly, by doing so, we've met some of our greatest friends here within Unity of Bellevue through hosting those sessions. It's really great. It's really fun. So certainly think about it. We'll probably be hosting one again this fall. We're doing a fundraiser for our tiles in our atrium. If you're interested in donating a tile in honor or in memory of someone, please let Monica know. For those of you in the building, I'd encourage you, if you're not familiar with what's out there, take a little time after the service to wander around and look at what's already out there, the kind of things that have been done and what's been donated. In the center of the atrium, there's the larger tiles, and then if you by either of the entry doors, you'll find several of the smaller tiles. So consider that as a fundraiser for Unity of Bellevue and a way for you to honor and memorialize a loved one. The Compassionate Communication Practice Group meets online this Friday at 4 p.m. with Reverend Denise. You'll find registration information in a Zoom link on our website, classes and workshop page, again, under the events tab. The Women Connect is going to meet this Saturday at 10:30 at the Bastille St. Edward's Park for a walk through the park, followed by a lunch at the hotel. See Linda Hillesheim. Linda's raising her hand back in the back of the sanctuary if this is something you're interested in doing. Jean Palmatier, our board president, having recently returned from Unity Village, she's arranged and invited us to participate in an online healing opportunities through one of our sister Unity churches. If this is something that would be of interest to you, you can see our website events page, our newsletter, or directly see Jean if this is something you'd like to participate in. I want to give a big thank you to Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson and to Mark Stanton for a wonderful service here this morning. Next week, Reverend Denise will be back continuing her series on sailing the seven seas with Jean Mann as our guest artist. Now let's join Mark for our peace song, followed by our prayer of protection. Mark?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. And let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed and wonderful week.